Welcome back, A-listers. This is the week of May 8th. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
This is Put It on the List, where we talk and discuss everything in entertainment and streaming. Two nerds, one pod. Let's go. What's up, man? Good to see you again.
You too.
How was your week, man?
Long. I didn't get to as much as I wanted to watch, but I got to enough. So we'll discuss some stuff. How was your week?
It was good. It was good. Like you, it was a little bit overwhelming with the amount of stuff that's out there to watch. And I think the big monkey wrench was being able to binge Ozark.
Yeah.
Because they drop all those episodes at once. You're like, oh shit. Like a fat kid in a candy store, you know? And you don't know how to control yourself. And
as you shouldn't.
And it was tough. It was tough because all the other stuff has been like one episode at a time or two tops. But this is like
we were gonna power through Ozark in like 2 days. Nope, it took like 3 or 4. So it screwed up the schedule. Plus, the problem with Ozark is all the spoilers that people are gonna immediately start dropping. Like, I stayed up to 4 a.m. Here's all my thoughts. Like, shut up. No one wants to hear your 4 a.m. thoughts, dickhead. So, internet spoiler, guys.
True that.
So yeah, that was something to get through. But we did it. We did it together.
We're on the other side now, brother.
And we're gonna talk about that. But before we talk about that, what's first on the list?
First is the season finale of Moon Knight.
On Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
As some of our listeners pointed out, we may or may not have mentioned the fact that we were talking about Moon Knight last week.
Moon Knight.
when we were in fact discussing Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah. That's
all right. So yeah.
Hall of Fame shit right there.
Moving past that little nugget, without spoiling it, yay or nay, Moon Knight.
Overall, yes. For me, I mean, there was, you can nitpick stuff. There's things that you would want better. It's not really clear if they're going to come back for a second season. They haven't announced anything yet. But I would like to keep seeing what's up in this world and see what's going on with all the characters in there.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed the journey. It was really enjoyable. But the biggest problem I had with Moon Knight is they just kind of ended it. It felt like there was another 10 to 15 minutes in there somewhere and then credits instead. I did not appreciate that. So I'm guessing there's going to be going to a lot of other places with the show. Because if you end it like that, you've got to be trying to say something. That's a statement to be like, hey, our stuff's good. So you're going to keep watching.
Yeah. And one more thing. There was a lot of emotional buildup in the episode 5. And there was a real disconnect between those two episodes, episode 6 and 5. Like, I felt like you really connected with the main characters and their struggle in in episode 5, and episode 6 was like, we gotta hurry up and end this, so we gotta do this and do that, and 1 + 2 = 3. Vámonos. That was it.
They were just kind of trying to get out of there, and they kind of had a lot of a big fight, and they put a lot of time and effort into that, and not trying to wrap up some previous story stuff. But hey, it was still one of the strongest Marvel series so far to date. And it looked great. The costumes were great. I don't know what else to say. It was pretty entertaining. I just thought that they didn't stick the landing 100% at the end there.
Yeah. I think my favorite part, one little tidbit, was when they kept switching the suits back and forth. I like that part. I was like, ooh, that was
I thought
cool.
you were about to say you didn't like it. I'm like, I thought that was cool.
No, that was really cool, yeah. I was like, ooh, he looks sharp. And he like dusted off his shoulders. Like,
yeah. He finally owned it. Like
Yeah.
we were kind of waiting for him to kind of own that look and his fighting. Like he was not really fighting much before, but he owned the look and the fighting. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. That's our non-spoiler review of Moon Knight. We might get into some spoilers at another episode, but moving on from that, what you got next?
Next, we got Outer Range on Prime, Amazon Prime. I've watched the first 6 episodes, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, the acting's great, the writing's great. There's some oddballs in there. You're like, this kid loves to sing. The neighbor, I don't remember his name, but homie loves to sing.
We call him the younger brother that sings.
Oh, that's his name? Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah. So that's like a little twist in there, but yeah. I have mixed feelings about the Mexican girl and the brother. How they keep like, does she like him? Does she not? Like they go back and forth.
That relationship is such like a, we just wrote in the script, therefore do it. They got nothing in common.
No. Why is she doing that? Why is she covering for him?
Small town. They never establish any of that, but you gotta let some stuff go because everything else is pretty damn good in the show.
Yeah, and Imogen Poots, I think that's how you say her name. She's really good, man. She's really good.
She gets even better later. So you've only got up to episode 6. Well, in fact, Christina and I have gone to episode 8. We've finished the entire season already, so you got some catching up to do, buddy.
Yeah, I do. Slow and steady.
We got some talking to do. So that might be a spoiler chatty episode, but until then, no spoilers. Definitely back on the list still. Highly recommended on the list. Outer Range on Amazon Prime. Get to it, man. Finish it so we can talk about it.
Sounds good. Put on my homework.
All right, what else you got?
We got Winning Time, but I think we're gonna save that till next week because there's only one more episode left, and we're gonna just recap the season. So far, I mean, it's been knockout for us, so we'll just leave it at that and wait for the season finale.
Done. Yeah, it's on HBO. If anyone who's watching and trying to get caught up, go
Winning
for
Time.
HBO. Winning Time.
The Offer is next. It's on Paramount Plus, and it's the story of the making of The Godfather. So it's just like a show about making a movie and behind the scenes stuff. And I watched the first 2 episodes, and there've been some pretty cool stuff. I like a lot of gangster stuff, so they start dropping some classic gangster, real life crime family stuff. And they name the Lucchese family, the Gambino family, and then Frank Sinatra, a lot of real world people that really existed. And so if you like The Godfather and gangster stuff, I recommend it because it just brings you back to that time.
How's the casting? Because I have not seen it. We do not have Paramount Plus in our household. So how'd you like the casting of it?
The casting has been good. Matthew Good, he plays a Paramount executive, and he talks like a Hollywood townie, so it's kind of weird to hear him with that accent. Like, oh yeah, you got to get this done, and then like really fast paced, and everybody knows he has a real accent, British, right? So that's interesting. But everybody else has been pretty good. The dynamic between the actors of that are playing Mario Puzo and Francis Ford Coppola has been pretty cool to see. They have a lot of chemistry, so they're working on the script for The Godfather right now, and it's pretty awesome to check that out.
Cool. That's the offer on Paramount Plus. I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Yeah, no complaints.
Ooh, I know you like The Godfather, so that's got to sit really high on your list.
Oh yeah, who doesn't like The Godfather, man?
Like if they did a making of Aliens or Jaws on my end, I would be all over it.
It's just I get what you're saying. It's just, bro, Godfather is different. It's different. I love Aliens. I love Jaws. It's just a different thing.
So here on Put It at the List, we're going to try to do something a little different now. We're going to do something we usually don't do, but we want to start doing a lot more of. And I'm talking about spoiling episodes. So we're about to spoil the shit out of Ozark. Cutting back in. For any of you looking to avoid the spoilers, skip to minute 25 and you should be just fine. But without further ado, here's our spoiler review of Ozark.
Beware spoilers.
Dude, Ozark, done.
Yeah. Put it down.
On a scale between 1 and 5 tissues, how many tissues did you end up using?
No tissues.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be
tissues. Yeah.
a little bit more, but I mean, they kind of set some stuff up. You saw it coming. It wasn't too shocking. It's just shocking in the way they set the different pieces up and how the pieces played out. But let's start at the beginning, the first episode.
Probably one of my favorite episodes of the season. I was like, ooh, they went for it. They killed Javi.
I didn't think they were going to do that.
I didn't think they were going to do that.
They just went straight into him, like, they're raising the stakes immediately. Love it.
I remember I was like, I paused it and I checked how many episodes are left. And it was the first episode. And, but the music, and you can kind of tell that what they were building to, because that was like a big Ruth episode. Like, you know, they're laying the groundwork to what's coming, the end for her. So once she killed them, it was over for her. So
yeah,
but it's one of my favorite episodes, definitely, of the season.
It was it was surprising, and it was great, and it was like unexpected, and she did such a great job. It's always fun just watching her do her thing, even when she's quietly intense or full on intense. I think the writing was on the wall for her over the course of several episodes throughout the season, and how it opened up, I believe, the last episode when she was doing the whole recap of her family, looking around, and you realized every single one of those Langmeyer, what is the hell's her name?
Langmore.
Every single one of those Langmores in that shot are dead over the course of like several seasons. You're like, damn, they have a shit legacy.
And it was all the birds' fault. They're like the Langmore exterminators. Like, it's a good thing that there's not more Langmores out there in the world, because the birds will fuck them up. But
maybe they'll find some in Chicago.
Yeah, but as far as Ruth goes, yeah, once you start seeing little ghosty family members, hey, call it a wrap. It's done for you. And she was like getting her shit together. That's another trope, you know, like, oh, this troubled character is getting their stuff together. Guess what? They're gonna get whacked, and that's what happened. Like, don't get used to it. Don't get used to the good life. She's rich. Oh, you're gonna get whacked. Oh yeah, her friends.
She's gonna retire.
No,
gonna get whacked.
She's gonna get whacked. Yeah. So, yeah, you feel bad for Ruth. I like. And it was for me, it was a combination of like a seesaw thing where like me feeling sad for Ruth kept going higher, and then my anger and hatred for Wendy Bird kept going even higher. I was like, I don't think I've disliked the character so much, and since Skylar White. Oh my God, I just want to be like, are these chicks related? I'm like, why are they just messing everything up? And Wendy, just the balls on her, like to just, like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it this way. I'm like, you're the passenger side, and I feel bad for Marty, because Marty just wants to he wants to be like the glue and keep everything together, and I'm like, bro, this girl is running all over you, man, messing everything up. She's got you acting like you're the head of the cartel. I mean, come on. You're not the head of the cartel, Marty. And you're like, oh, yeah, Marty can go. I'm like, what? You volunteer me to go to the cartel?
Let's send him to the fucking lion's den.
And he's like, yeah, I think I can handle that. I shit my pants. I'm like, no cartel, sir. Oh, my God. No, thanks.
Just take the other options.
Yeah. And then he comes back. And then, what's the real cartel guy's name? I forgot his name right now.
Omar Navarro.
Oh, yeah. Omar's like, hey, Marty, how did it go? I'm like, oh, it went great.
God damn, you straight up sound like Omar Navarro. How did you
Oh,
do it?
oh,
Dude, Marty.
yeah, I'm channeling my inner Mexican.
Dude. The one thing I would miss about the show, every time Omar would say, Windy Bird.
Hey, Windy Bird. Yeah.
Hey, Windy Bird.
Yeah.
Get this done.
I feel like Omar wanted to have like a romantic escapade with Windy Bird.
Oh, there was like, I think a ruthlessness to a ruthlessness trying to being attracted, man.
Yeah,
that was
right?
big time. Yeah, big time.
Oh, yeah. Wendy, you could be my Queen of Hearts. Off with their heads. Good shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How do you feel about Wendy? Am I on the like the...
No, dude, she was... I read the first season. It was like, okay, you can kind of see some sparks. Around the second season was straight up like the Wendy show. Her and Ruth like rising to like the top of like, these guys are going to come to a head, and they basically did.
Yeah. Another thing I'll say about Ruth, sorry about jumping back and forth, but now when you said Wendy and Ruth, I love when Ruth was like a little Tupac, man. Like when the sister Camilla was pointing the gun at her, like for a second, Camilla looked like she was shook, like she didn't know if she was gonna do it. And Ruth's like, "Are you gonna do it, or are we gonna stand here all day?" You know, with her accent. And I'm like, "Damn, that girl is down. She got shot, but at least she saw it.
Yeah, she was the real deal. She wasn't like she just walk around, shoot people in the head, don't care."
Yeah. So, rest in peace, Ruth.
She's got to have a big career ahead of her. She's a great Julia Garner.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actress.
Yeah. And like this season, I think she'll win another award for it.
I hope so. I think that show is a little understated in the award categories, so we'll find out what happens there. I think going back to the show kind of had like this matriarchal power dynamic between Wendy Bird, Ruth, and who comes in at the very end to throw the wrench into everything was Camilla.
Yeah.
They literally, like episode 2, like, hey, by the way, here's this whole other character we've never discussed before, ever. I wonder if she's going to have a fucking say over things. And sure enough, she was like, hey, Marty, kill everybody.
I wonder if I sound more like the brother or Camilla. Who killed my son? Who killed my son, Marty? What happened that night? She had a deep voice, too.
She has smoked her fair share of cartons of cigarettes.
There you go.
Dude. As soon as you saw her, episode 2, I'm like, oh, fuck. She's going to come out the other side of this whole thing. Like, it's going to be, I bet you heard Wendy, like, running everything and all the other dudes are going to die. I was wrong, but not too far off.
No, I definitely thought she was going to bust out the flying chancla one episode. We're like, oh, chingada su madre. You know, everybody.
That would have been pretty cool. She's not strategic also, though. Like Omar, he's really strategic. She was just like, I'm going to throw away everything to get revenge.
This might be a dumb question, but who set out the first hit on Omar? Was it her? Was it Camilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was making her moves because she knew she had to do something. And then the other part, I would not consider her a thinker. She also fucked up the whole, I think the deal with the FBI could be done because she laundered all of her money through the casino boat and she killed the owner of the casino boat. Where does that leave her? So they left the show
unless
a little open-ended.
Unless they let the girl that set up the party, the waitress that they brought back, because she was at the FBI meeting too.
But she has no legal. She's just an employee of the boat like anyone else. So who knows? A lot of questions. So let's talk about the very end. Something that didn't sit right with me. So the detective shows back up, right? Detective Persistence, we'll call him because I don't recall his real name.
Melton.
His character.
I think it's Melton. Melton. Melton, I think.
All right, we'll just call him Detective Melton shows up with what he believes to be the ashes of Ben. And with his ashes of Ben, he wants to take down the family. Okay. If you wanted to truly take down this family, why in the shit would you just sit on their back patio waiting for them to get home with the only evidence in the world just so you could like rub it in their faces. They're like a family of murderers. What do you think's gonna happen when they get home?
Ego. It was all ego. Like I outsmarted you. That's what it was. There's no other reason because, like you said, it doesn't make any sense. He should have just done the
Bounced.
cop. Yeah, done
should
the
have
cop
bounced.
thing. Go fill out your report and arrest them. But no, it was his ego. Like I figured it out, and you guys are going down. It's like when the villain
Monologuing.
yeah, he monologuing
He
exactly.
monologued.
Yep, that's what happened.
I got you now.
Yeah.
Pow. So let's talk about that for a second. So they've set up several times in the show Jonah with a gun, like learning to shoot, being obsessed with rifle earlier on, showing off for his friends with the handgun. Like this kid knows his way around firearms. So what do they end it on? Him actually, they didn't technically end it on him showing a murder, but let's face it, he killed the dude.
That was a shotgun sound for sure.
Yeah, it's over for that guy. So he came full circle from like the family trying to stay out of the birds business, the bird kids joining in directly with the family business.
Yeah, it's a done deal. They're in crime for life.
How long do you think until the birds kids get killed?
I don't know. I think Jonah will make it a long way. He's smarter than all of them, I think.
I think so. He also doesn't get his hands too dirty except for the occasional murder.
Yeah. And you know, one thing on casting, the siblings, Jonah and what's the girl's name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. They were like, oh, they kind of look like brother and sister. They did a good job.
I guess so.
They ended up looking alike. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
No, not at all.
So, but good job on the casting there.
Yeah, great casting for the whole show. And you know what I was really bummed about? The one part person. All right, if I had to choose one character that gets his own spin-off show, just like a little mini series, the Hitman Nelson. That guy's got some stories.
Yeah. It was so funny.
Yeah.
When they showed the bit about the brother and he was like, oh, tell Wendy I'm sorry. And he kept talking and he was going, he was kind of spazzing out. And Nelson didn't say a fuck. That's pretty cold, dude. He's just sitting there driving. And I wonder what was going through Nelson's head. Like, how much do I have to listen to this? And
he's probably saying, I've heard worse.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm surprised he's not crying yet. I don't know. But, man.
I got diapers in the back when he starts pissing himself. Like, we've been here before.
I was surprised they took him out that quickly, I guess.
Dude, Nelson's a pro. That guy, when Nelson's around, nothing good happens.
Yeah. He's like the Mike Morning Trout from Better Call Saul, but young.
See, I know him as Breaking Bad, Mike.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy just takes care of business. The one cool reference from the Outer Range / Ozark connection, which totally tripped me out. Wendy Bird's brother, Ben, plays the older brother on Outer Range, which is now airing on Amazon Prime. I had no idea, man. It wasn't, we were laying on the couch, and it was maybe like episode 2 of Outer Range. Christina was like, hold up. That dude's in Ozark. And I looked, no, he's not.
Yeah.
What? So she pulled out her phone. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Sure enough, in your face, jerk, right here. Told you.
You deserve it.
Oh, shit.
You deserve it.
But yeah, she nailed that one. I didn't see it coming. Like, totally different characters, too. That guy's a good actor.
I didn't get it to like episode 4 or 5, where I'm like, that guy, who is that guy? And then I looked it up, and yeah.
Dude, he had some monologues in Ozark. I think it was season 3. That was like heartbreaking.
That guy wasn't a good one. He wasn't.
So
he was in his bag for sure.
His role was limited, but damn it, he did fucking great. All right, I think any other final thoughts? Any other questions on Ozark?
I love the show overall. I think that the ending was a little bit underwhelming for me, and but But overall, great show. Great show. Not bummed at all that I invested all that time watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Great investment of time watching that show, Ozark, on Netflix. The one thing I thought it was gonna be more of a bloodbath. I expected a much bigger, higher body count the last season, and it was pretty mellow.
Yeah.
And something like this, as they're going out, I figured they were just gonna be just buckets of blood. That didn't really
Especially
happen.
the cartel being involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So other than that, pretty damn good. And shout out to Jason Bateman who directed the season finale.
Yeah. I think
That
this
guy's
is
coming.
his baby.
He's coming to his own as a director, which is great to see.
Yeah.
All right, getting out of the spoiler zone and back into the regular show. Continuing on. What do we got that's new to the list that
New
we've
to the
seen?
list, we got We Own the City, starring John Bernthal. It's on HBO Max. And there's a lot of also a few cast members from The Wire. It's from the creator of The Wire. And I've watched the first episode. And I watched the first two episodes, but the first episode I think you've watched. What are
Yeah,
your
I
thoughts?
finally got around to watching it like 2 days ago on your high recommendation.
Yeah, I've watched that episode twice, actually.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I could see it being worth it. Oh, episode twice. I mean, I can see it being worth watching twice. There's some stuff that's happening in that show. I was a little confused at some stuff because they kind of jump around a little bit. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like 2 or 3 parts where I was like, wait, what? So that was a nice.
There's
I like
definitely
that.
some time jumps. Yeah, there's some time jumps, and it gets a little confusing, but they try to, give you the actual date. Gotta pay attention.
The idea is there though too. What they're building to. So it's not like even if you don't 100% understand, I have a feeling in a few more episodes it'll all be completely clear.
Yeah, I think for me, like the first 5 minutes of the show, when he's training and giving a speech to new cops. He's a veteran by that time, and he's letting them know how it really is and what to expect and what not to do, with that kind of stuff. And while he's doing that, they're showing images from a previous from John Berthal as a rookie or as a young cop, and basically doing the opposite. So it was a good juxtaposition of what he was talking about and what the real life is. And man, I was eating that up. I love that part. It was like super gangster and street, and I loved it. I love crime shows and criminal stuff.
And this was a crime show based on real life crime, so it's really interesting. And the other part was, he's a great actor. Period. I could watch him do anything. Like, this guy's awesome. And the last shot of the first episode, I was like, damn.
Oh yeah, when the guy, like, he didn't even blink or he didn't even look down. He just looked at me, and John Berthel was just like, "Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?"
Yeah,
and that was it. And you're like,
that was it.
Shit.
Yeah. So it's only 6 episodes. It's a limited series, and so I'm thinking that the episode's gonna be packing a punch because they only got 6 hours to do this.
Yeah, it moves pretty quick. So highly recommend that on HBO Max.
We own the
city. All right, what you got next?
Next is again on HBO Max. It's called The Staircase, and it's starring Colin Firth and Toni Collette. It's based on a true story. It's a true crime story. I've watched one episode, and I don't know anything about the real story that happened, but the first episode was really well done, and besides Colin Firth's accent or attempt at an accent, an American accent, I think overall the show was really good. And Toni Collette, I mean, she's putting in another great performance too. So I recommend it.
We watched the trailer for The Staircase. I think it was yesterday. I was like, is that Colin Firth with an American accent? Has he ever done that before? And we finished the trailer. I'm like, I think I'm okay never watching Colin Firth do an American accent. I don't know, man. That show, for anyone who doesn't know, it's about a murder, like an unsolved. I don't know if it's unsolved, but it was a lots of accusations of murder and
Yeah,
unhappiness, and
people get arrested for sure.
a lot of courtroom drama. And I, you'll have to let me know if it's worth going into.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna do it.
yeah, no problem. I'll let you.
Well, yeah, but Toni Collette though is always knocks it out of the park. So she's a great actress. So I'm looking forward to hearing about her. But she can do an American accent flawless. So no question there.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. What do we got? Oh, here we go. We got newly added older films. This is one of my favorite categories, actually. So what do we got on this one this week? Because if folks know, the beginning of May, all the streamers just dump dozens and dozens of films and new content on each, and we try to comb through all of that to find out some gems. So here are a few gems that we both decided to throw on there. What's the first one?
First one on Netflix, we got The Gentleman, directed by Guy Ritchie. There's a giant ensemble like Hugh Grant, Charlie Hunnam, Colin Farrell. I'm forgetting like 3 or 4 other guys.
So many.
Yeah, and I've seen it once when it first came out in 2019, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, Guy Ritchie's back, baby, with the gangster shit. So, yeah, I'm excited to revisit it and dissect it even further.
For those that don't know, Guy Ritchie's directed 2 or 3 kick-ass London gangster crime films: Snatch, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels,
Revolver.
They always deliver. They always deliver with a crazy cast, and this one's no different. And yes, in our household, we watched The Gentleman, I think 3, possibly 4 times now. It's just so damn enjoyable and easygoing. And it's just dripping with style. The whole film is just dripping with style.
Don't you want to get a tracksuit? Should we get matching tracksuits, buddy?
Dude, I can't believe it. So last Christmas, I may or may not have Googled gentleman tracksuits. And? They're out there, but they come in 2 categories. Really expensive top of the line threads, like those ones for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Dang.
Or just total knockoffs for like $50, which if you're getting a whole tracksuit for $50, you get what you're paying for there, buddy.
Yeah.
But they're pretty cool. Dude, I'm not going to lie. So I seriously spent some time looking up tracksuits from The Gentleman, and they have like little replicas.
Yeah, we need to spend some time revisiting that shit.
So I'm down. All right, we'll take this offline. Maybe we'll do a photo session if that's ever happen.
Oh,
But
yeah.
dude, those tracks. Anyways, supposedly the director and Charlie Hunnam spent like a week going around London's fashion, I don't know, with their institute, all their stores, and just shopping for a week straight to buy all the outfits for the film. And they dropped some serious money because, dude, if you just the fashion in the film is just pretty bananas. Like, even I'm not a fashionable guy, but I couldn't stop staring. Like, damn, these guys are looking sharp.
We haven't even talked about any of the plot of the movie. It's so funny.
Had a plot.
It should be like The Gentleman, aka gangster shit.
There was a line from Catch Me If You Can. Damn it.
Oh, somebody's getting old.
There's a line from Catch Me If You Can. Christopher Walken tells Leonardo DiCaprio something to the effect of, do you know why the Yankees always win when playing at home? It's because their opponents can't stop staring at the stripes. Ooh. And that's kind of like this film. I couldn't stop staring at all the damn clothes. It was really cool.
Yeah, good line.
But yes, it's just a fun, action-y. There's not a ton of action, but it's more like gangsters making moves in the criminal underworld. Matthew McConaughey fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's another name.
Henry Golding, hilarious, shockingly hilarious in some of his scenes. Like there's so many actors, and the whole time, I mean, the movie's basically a cartoon. Let's just face it, it's like a cartoon gangster film, but it's so damn enjoyable and it's so over the top. You're like, they just own the fact and they just go straight. They just go for it. Every actor just goes for it, and it's just fun. Go check it out.
Yeah, Netflix. I think it was streaming number 1 yesterday or the day before, as far as movies go. So everybody's on the train. Get on it.
It's great. Netflix. The Gentleman. Next, what do we got?
On Amazon Prime, we got Iron Giant, a film from 1999, directed by Brad Bird. In his directorial debut, he directed a little film called The Incredibles and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which, in my opinion, turned the franchise around.
I don't know, man. Going back into the Mission Impossible stuff, I think Mission Impossible 3, with J.J. Abrams directing that, put it on the trajectory that set up Ghost Protocol. So I would say the third one kind of turned it around, and Ghost Protocol knocked it out of the park. And that kind of set the tone for the rest of it. But getting back to our film, Iron Giant, what was your experience with it? You said you've seen it? Haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Only watched it.
Are you...
I'm just messing with you.
I'm not talking to you, man. Should we just end this early? Because...
Bro, I don't know you were going to put... I don't know you're going to put Iron Giant on here and be like, hey... I don't know.
Anyways, Iron Giant.
I'll put it on the list.
Put it on your damn list.
I'll put it on my list.
Put the Iron Giant on your list and let me know how you come out the other side, because I'll tell you right now, that movie moved me when I was younger watching. I couldn't believe how good it was.
Next week, I'm putting a fucking movie on that you haven't watched.
Good.
Any scary movie.
Yeah, you could tell me how amazingly scary it is, and I could tell you nobody gives a shit. Anyways, Iron Giant, it's up there for a lot of folks. If you haven't seen it, it's on Prime right now. Check out the Iron Giant. It's just something to behold towards the end, especially. You're like, it will rip your heart out in different ways. I don't want to spoil it, but it gets a little emotional towards the end. Man, it's good. But we're just gonna leave it at that. Iron Giant, check it out. Next on the list.
Road to Perdition. Directed by Sam Mendes. 2002.
I love The Road to Perdition.
Ditto. I think this is a film we might have gone to watch together.
There's a strong possibility we watch it together. One of the things that first got me, I remember watching this in the theaters, the cinematography was it was just gorgeous. Like the texture and the lighting, and this is like it's a gangster film, like a straight gangster film, like a classic telling of a terrible underworld, just life. It just consequences, and it's dark, really dark. Crazy casting: Tom Hanks, Daniel Craig, Paul Newman. And I think this one of his last films.
Yeah, it was. That's what I was just thinking about when we started talking about it. I'm like, man, it was so good to see him, like on a modern film, you know, and him being like so stoic and just commanding the attention he deserved. So,
and just seeing it, the pain, having to choose between his son and I would call it like his adopted son.
Yeah,
like that story, everything. This film is just it tugs at you and it resonates. It's good. It's really good.
Also,
like
one of the first times I've seen Daniel Craig on film.
I think it was the first time I saw him on film too. I'm like, look at his blue, steely murderer eyes. This guy.
My crooked face guy is gonna be James Bond one day.
Yeah. Did not see that coming.
Did not.
And this film for me was one of the first times with the cinematography. It blew me away. And it was also one of the first times I started to become really aware of cinematographers and their work, because how he crafts shadows with light, it's just gorgeous. And crazy enough, the cinematographer, Conrad Hall, I went back and looked him up. He shot just so many films decades previously, And it turned out this was the last film he shot, and he won an Academy Award for cinematography. But sadly, he passed away a few months before the ceremony, so he won it posthumously.
Posthumously.
That's the one. him and Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
Sad. But yeah, man, his work. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. Definitely try to watch it like on a Blu-ray or and turn the lights off because it's kind of a darker film.
yeah. Sam Mendes has always tried to do a great job with cinematography and getting the right guys to do the work with him.
Yeah, when he filmed Skyfall, he got Roger Deakins to shoot it. Like, he brought the pain.
Sure did.
So, all right, what else do we have on the list?
All right, on HBO Max, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, directed by James Cameron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Robert Patrick, Edward Furlong. One of the biggest action movies of all time. And how what's your relationship with this movie, Andres?
Oh my god, I was freaked out when it was coming out that summer. I freaked out. Like, I couldn't believe. Like, I was so hyped for this damn movie. 1991. I was about to go into high school. I think it was that summer, and leading up to it was like the most hyped thing ever. I think up to that point. I think Batman '89 beforehand, everyone was like, "You have to see it. You have to see it. You have to see it." 2 years later, this film came out, and everyone, "You got to see this. You got to see this. You got to see this." It was, the special effects looked amazing, like some shit we've never seen before. That was a huge selling point. I really, really liked the first Terminator, so getting a second one, I was like, yes! Like, the kid in me just loved that stuff. Like, give me all the Predators, give me all the Terminators, give me all the RoboCops. I was super hyped. How about you?
Yeah, for me, I was super excited but nervous because I was really young watching the first Terminator, and that one scared the bejesus out of me. The first one. I ain't gonna lie. Homie wouldn't die. He got rid of his skin, and he kept coming, and not until he got smashed. So, first Terminator kind of traumatized me, and then Terminator 2 just proceeded to do it more with Skynet and like my forever fear of the machines had started then, and it will never leave. But yeah, the special effects, like you said, like the liquid Terminator, I'm like, that guy looks even more of a badass than Arnold Schwarzenegger,
And he was smaller and skinnier.
yeah, it's like, oh, the aerodynamic guy, and everything was just perfect. It was just perfect.
It was crazy. And they had the soundtrack going in. They had like the Guns N' Roses thing on the trailer. Like, holy shit. Like, it was a total package.
Remember?
Yeah.
That song slaps. Yeah. Yeah. I thought about singing, but then I heard you, and then I'm glad I didn't.
You're like, no. Even with these nice mics that we have, no.
No thanks.
Look at us.
One thing that's I was gonna ask you, age well or not age well?
Fuck yeah, it aged well.
Yeah, but what about all the "Hasta la vista, baby" and all those, like
that's
the little
fine.
quips? Yeah, they're
he
funny.
Only quips like 2 or 3 times, and it's character driven. It's not just some random thing. Like, it's the kid teaching him all this kid stuff, and then he throws in it just like these random times to be human. Yeah, and it's like it's adorable. He's trying to like adapt and become more human as he goes on.
Yeah, I'm digging it too, man. I watched it recently, like maybe 6 months ago, and it'd been a while since I watched it, and so Hasta la Vista, No Way. Was it No Way Jose, or what was the other one? There's a few where he says,
So there's a few. What other few were there? There was Hasta la Vista. The kids teaching them.
Yeah. It wasn't No Way Jose, was it? That was like the junior high thing. Oh, man. But there was a few of them.
He said, chill out, dickwad.
Yeah. Chill out, dickwad. But anyways, those have aged well, I think. I agree with you. It was a time of the vernacular, that era, and they've aged well.
Dude, that movie aged beautifully. We watched it like also within the last year. We watched both of them, the first one and the second one, and talk about like a sequel that just it's bigger and better than the first one. It builds on the first one. It's not just a remake. It like actually has a purpose to exist. They did such a good job tying it in. It didn't feel so forced and tacked on like so many like sequels do.
I agree.
That it's done with such like reverence and care to the first one, and it's dark. Like the whole film is like takes place at night. The tonality of the entire film is something none of the following Terminator films have been able to copy or replicate whatsoever. Like the latest Terminator, it had some cool ideas. It could have done really well, but tonality, they just missed it by a mile.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Dark Fate. Did you like the Mexican one?
No.
Oh,
I just said, I thought the ideas were really good, but the execution was just kind of like meh. The director didn't watch the first few films. All the films that are like hardcore take place at night. This guy, all of his scenes take place in the middle of the day. Like, no, man, what are you doing?
The director's also not James Cameron. So
you don't have to be James Cameron to make shit at night.
But to make classic shit like that, come on.
James Cameron doesn't have a patent on night. Homie could have just shot some stuff at night, and it would have been like 10 times more in the. He would have been in the right lane if he had shot it at night.
I don't know why he didn't do it at night, but I know that some of these special effects movies that get criticized for doing these special effects shots at night because they get hiding shit. So,
as someone who understands that intimately, we appreciate all the night shots. So you can hide stuff at night.
So he was being lazy, and homie was being upfront.
He was being very thorough in his missing the tonality of the film. Anyways, yes, the Dark Fate was not bad. It was just kind of eh. I just think it could have been a great opportunity. He only directed Deadpool before he directed Dark Fate, and I thought he could have just done a bigger, cooler job of Dark Fate. Anyways.
Yeah.
Tonality.
If you're thirsty, right. Drink your haterade.
All right, well, we know what you're going to go watch after we're done here. So,
Dark Fate.
Enjoy Dark Fate. All right, as we're starting to wrap up, do you want to talk about this May 27th?
Nerdmageddon. Did I say it right?
I don't know. It's still a work in progress, folks.
Let me see. Nerdmageddon weekend.
Nerdmageddon. Let's not talk about why yet. We'll bring it up maybe next week, but we're still workshopping the name. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. Look forward to Nerdmageddon. We got to do something better than that. That's not the best name. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But that's coming in a couple weeks.
Well, I'll figure it out at night when it's dark.
Hopefully, faithfully.
I'll capture the tone.
Good. You do that, Dark Nerdmageddon.
All right.
All right. So wrapping it up. Any final words?
No, man. I'm excited to finish up Outer Limits and moving forward. And winning time's coming up. So, yeah, man, we got plenty of stuff to watch and keep us entertained.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. So until next time, yeah, I've got plenty to watch and we'll talk more then. So until next time, this has been Andres.
I'm Francisco.
And until next time, take it easy, folks.